Um, I would like to thank Anita and all of the team that is supporting me. Thank you, Dr. Kathy Ann Joseph, for inviting me to speak here today. It is an honor to share the podium with such distinguished leaders of the medical community at Bellevue, at NYU, and at Columbia. And it is heartening to be surrounded by individuals who participate in continuing educational conferences like this to keep informed about the latest trends and in improving breast cancer outcomes for women of color. I understand that the majority of the audience here are breast cancer survivors. Am I correct? Okay. And for all of us in the audience, whether you are a survivor, a patient, a caregiver, just a concerned member of the community, we have learned that one's circumstances and background influence how we relate to the medical establishments, and how critical this relationship can be in creating a positive healthcare outcome and experience, and to promoting lasting wellness. And thus the reason for my name being associated with the program that Anita and Dr. Joseph just spoke of. My experience here at the NYU Langone Medical Center as well as Bellevue has been extremely positive. So, here's a little bit about my story. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, in Kings County Hospital. Because of circumstances, my brother and I were moved into foster care. I was, I believe, 5. My mother died when I was 7 years old, and we never knew anything about her health history because my father's family took care of us before I went into foster care. My father died when I was 12 years old, and it is because he had rheumatic fever at a young age, so left his heart weak. While I was in foster care, I lived near Woodstock, New York. You know, that's upstate New York. There, in high school and junior high, I was extremely active in many sports: cheerleading, basketball, track and field. In fact, I ran the anchor. I was the anchor person in track and field, which is the fastest on the team. Okay. So let's fast forward 4 decades, and this is my lifestyle. I always considered myself to be in tip-top shape, eating well, low-carb diet, being very physically fit. Up to this day, I exercise every single day. I run 4 miles on one day. On the other days, I walk 10 to 12 miles. I am a person, this is my lifestyle, okay? This makes me feel good. I'm just letting you know me. I work out with a personal trainer, and all of this, and even when I'm on vacation, I keep to this regimen. It's like brushing my teeth. I've climbed Kilimanjaro twice. Wow. Yes, thank you. I ski and I play golf, and last year my family and I were on a vacation, and we heard they were having a canoe race, an outrigger race on the ocean. And somebody said, come on, why don't you welters come and race against us? Meanwhile, we had never been in a canoe, we had never paddled before, and we were just being set up because the other racers, yeah, they had been there, and they live on this resort, so they had practiced almost every single day. We didn't. Come to find out, the Welters team got in the boat. The steersman is the person who tells you what to do, what side to paddle on, and when to switch paddles. So the steersman started to arrange us in the boat, and he was putting me in the back because the back is the weakest of my 2 sons. I have they're now 25 and 28 years old and say, you don't know what you're doing. She's the strongest one. Put her in the front. So we paddled. But to make a long story short, we tied for first place. And then we had to do a runoff race. But we got kind of tangled up. It was a quarter of a mile paddling toward the buoy, and then we had to paddle around the buoy. And this was a big outrigger boat. You're in the middle of the ocean. The waves are doing this, that, and the other. So we got a little behind, but we caught up enough to come in second, but we were a fraction of a second from first place. So that is, and I'm saying all of this is to say, just to show you what type of shape I think I'm in. I feel great, okay? What I also hold fast to is making and keeping my annual physicals. And I think back about that all the time. I say, thank God I'm wired that way, because I wouldn't be here today if I wasn't. Now the awakening. In February of 2007, I was driving down a road I live in Virginia, by the way. I was going home on a road in Virginia, and I just did something while I was driving, and I felt this, it was like a bump, and I said, And so I knew that I was going to go for my checkup in a few months, and so I said, okay, fine. When I went for my checkup, and a week after they did all the diagnosis, it was cancer. So I know that many of you have had that revelation, and I thought to myself, well, maybe I better go and have a second opinion. I had a second opinion. The second opinion was here at NYU Langone Medical Center, and it was triple negative breast cancer. I remained here for my medical treatment because of the unbelievable expertise in treating cancer here and at Bellevue, because the same doctors at NYU are at Bellevue. And I also was very impressed by the unbelievable compassion that they gave me, and I saw them giving to other patients. The emotional support they provide to their patients is, in my opinion, just as important to the successful treatment of the disease as the purely medical interventions. I had a mastectomy, and no further treatment was needed because it was caught early. All the while, this happened in 2007, all the while I was thinking, how do I give back? Because as you can see, I had a foundation. My husband and I always give back with my school, wherever my kids went to school, whether it was elementary school or middle school or high school. After they graduated, we always presented them with a gift to bring some more students of color, especially African-American males and Hispanic males, to the environments that my kids were privileged to have. So my work over the last 30 years has always centered around the underrepresented. And so I particularly was interested in working with the medical center on a program that would focus on women of color and attempt to find ways to attack the shocking disparities in treatment outcomes that we experience in these communities. The medical center was more than receptive to my ideas and as eager to tackle these issues as I am. And as you've heard, we are launching a program. Actually, it's next month in Brooklyn. This is a very daunting challenge, and there's much work ahead from enrolling women for mammograms, to encouraging routine checkups, to providing the latest treatments to those that need them, including opportunities for participation in clinical trials. Bottom line, this program is providing easy access through our outreach and navigational processes. We will hand carry you through the entire system if you are in need, okay? I am very grateful to the medical team, the advisory committee, the patient navigators, and other administrators for all their hard work in making the Beatrice W. Welters Breast Health Outreach and Navigational Program become a reality. For make no mistake about this, this is a highly collaborative effort with a very committed group of professionals. I thank the co-directors of my program, Dr. Kathy Ann Joseph, Dr. Joseph Ravenel, I just thought, two Josephs, and of course, the others that are members of the team. I am indeed grateful to everyone at NYU Langone and Bellevue Hospital Center who has been instrumental in turning this vision into a reality. In particular, the dean of this entire place, Dean Grossman, Drs. Cohen, Dr. Neal, who's the head of the Perlmutter Cancer Center, and Dr. Shapiro, who was my surgeon, who have sustained and enlightened me with their friendship and wisdom. Finally, the opportunity to speak and be among all of you today is indeed a privilege. Thank you.